All right, we're back with another episode of Dårlige Venner podcast. Thank you guys for coming.
No problem.
No problem. I'm glad to hear that. You guys come from the band Anchors.
Yes.
Yes, this is a Norwegian, what do you call it?
MetalCore.
MetalCore?
The name, yeah.
All right. I actually discovered you guys from a concert I attended on John Dee earlier this year.
Oh. And that was the...
You have fun?
Kingseeker
correct.
Beyond the Barricades release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super fun. It was a great show. I knew 3 of the bands. Never seen you guys before. So I never talked to you before either. So I thought, first of all, you blew our faces. You melted our faces away.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my girlfriend was also with me there, and she was like, already from the first kickstart, the first band. Wow. So that's a good sign.
That's nice.
Yeah, really cool. So I decided I have to get to talk to you guys, see what's up. And then I can, it's so satisfactory. It's a lot of satisfaction just checking off all those 4 bands from that show.
Yeah.
You know, I have a little OCD, so if I'm missing that one band, it bothers me a lot. So now I can check it off. We should maybe have done this before the show, actually. So I knew a little bit more about you before I watched your show. But hell, this is almost even better, because now I know you rock. We can have a little introduction. Maybe we can start with you.
Yeah, my name is Mats, and I do vocals. Yeah.
That's it? That's all you do?
That's it. I'm mostly writing the lyrics.
Yeah.
At least most of them.
Well, I mean, up to now, all of them.
Yeah, but Andrew has been joining in on some lyrics. He's the only one not here today.
Yep.
But yeah, that's mostly what I do.
You'll be grandly missed.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Yeah, my name is Joakim. I play the drums. Also, I would say I write the drums, but this guy always writes the drums, and I rework the drums.
Well, we always write drums the way that guitarists write drums.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it either sucks or can't physically be played.
Fucking rough. What the
and then Joakim comes and makes it realistic and better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes then you learn how to play them, because that's the best part.
That you learn.
When you fuck himself over, it's like, yeah, that's so cool, man. And then suddenly realize
I have
the truth.
little bit problem with I write the drums in the music software beforehand, and then when I'm gonna play it, because it sounds so fucking cool, and I can't play it, and I have to practice in my parts.
Oh, cool.
So, but yeah.
And the last guy?
I'm Nick. That's not like, it's like a short term for Nicolò. I'm Italian, but nobody knows me by my full name around here, so Nick is fine.
Nick is fine.
Now, play bass and arrange, I guess. Like, I have some saying when it comes to the arrangement, and when it comes to like the songs, I have had some sit downs with them. Andrew is like one of the, I would say, the main writer when it comes to the music. Like, he writes a wild part.
He writes a
yeah, he
lot
writes like a wild part of what's going on, and then either me or Mats, we just fix what the arrangement is going. So I don't know, for instance, he would fix some part that goes with the vocals, or I would arrange like some rhythmical parts in order for him to have drums that go, maybe they were thought in a specific direction, and we just tweak it in another way, and yeah.
And I would like to add that, like, when because we started the band during pandemic time,
A little earlier than pandemic.
Yeah, and me and Andrew had been writing a lot of the stuff, and the influence that both Nick and Joakim has had on the music, like after they joined, has been pretty big. It's the sound has changed a lot from what it started as. as to what it is now.
Yeah, I feel like it was like it was supposedly be a little more straightforward metalcore, and then it turned out to be a little more articulated, because we all have different, you know, backgrounds, and we all have different influences, and we all have different ways to play as well, according to where we come from, but also according to, I don't know, I feel like how you perceive the instrument in a certain sense. I think that that's a part of the game as well.
Yeah, it is. It's often you feel like everybody's got their own sound, even though if they play the same instrument on all the same settings, you still got the sound. I guess that's the thing you can notice with great guitarists, for example.
Yeah.
That you can immediately hear who it is behind the guitar.
Yeah.
Even though you maybe haven't even heard the song before. But okay, this is that guy, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Or you can suspect it and check it up. I was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, and the dynamics in the band always usually changes too if you get in new members, stuff like that. You evolve together and get new sounds, new ideas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What year did Anchors officially get started?
2019.
2019, that early?
Yeah.
Or late, I
You
mean.
guys were going on before that, actually. But
But we like. I remember we have it on the on one of the T-shirts that we're selling. We have like established 2019.
so it's like
I think.
it's official, yeah.
Yeah, so that's when we like. But it was. We started talking about it right before the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
and then when everything closed down, that's when we, me and Andrew, spent a lot of time in his like home studio,
Yeah.
writing the first album.
Yeah.
And then we found you guys not too long after that. We hadn't...
No, because I feel like when I joined first, and I think that you guys had maybe 5 or 6 songs when I joined.
Yeah, something
Because
like
I
that.
remember everything other than, I think it's like you already released Take a Breath, like, as in like I don't want to call it demo, but like an early version,
Yeah, yeah.
in which me and Joakim didn't record. But that was basically the only song that hasn't been like fairly tweaked
Yeah.
in what was going on.
I think
Yeah.
it's the only song as well where it's not your recorded bass.
No, it is in the end, but it was very
we
it
got
was
to
very
change it, yeah.
simplified compared to every other song. Like because the song was already out, it was already basically ready, so we just stuck with it, and then everything else was tweaked like immediately.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So you were initially just 2? That was it, you and Andrew?
Yeah, we started the like the idea of the
Okay.
band, and because we studied together at Noroff, and then when we finished our 2 years study there, we kind of started playing around with the idea of the band and everything, and then as soon as we had gotten some songs together, we started to try and find the other members.
How did that how did you guys get together? Did you like, was it ads and or internet, stuff like that, seeking?
I remember actually because my girlfriend worked as an intern at Indie Recordings at that time. She still works there now though, but Mats also worked a little bit doing something at Indie Recordings
Yeah,
at
some
that time.
volunteering kind of.
Yeah, and he just went into the office and just, anybody know any drummers? And my girlfriend was like, yeah, my boyfriend is a drummer.
Yeah.
And then we decided to meet up at his 30th birthday. That was the first time I met Mats.
Was it the summer
You
games
went in
thing?
with a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
boom.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But we hit it off like immediately. So
So you met him for the first time in his birthday party?
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool.
that was the first year of summer games. We
Yeah.
have it as a tradition now.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool. And you, how did you find this guy? You went
Friends
to
in-
Italy
No,
to pick him
friends,
up?
friends, in, friends in
Handpicked.
common actually. I moved with my girlfriend in March 2019 here in Norway, and
You moved to Norway.
I moved to Norway.
All right.
Yeah, in 2019, and I started working for Brugata Oslo. I'm still working there. I'm the event manager there right now.
On Brugata?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And
Didn't know that.
I started working there, and one of the part owners at the time, because he's no longer part owner of the place, he used to work with you and Andrew, I think.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah. They used to work together and whatever. And I really didn't think much of it, to be honest, in the beginning. But because, like, you know, moving from another country, and especially in a place like Norway, and at the times it was before pandemic, you know, prices were very high, and I was more than anything focused on like moving in the country and having all my things set and everything. This just happened, and I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of have some time, and then he eventually took off from there, and now we're here, I guess.
Been stuck with them since.
I've been stuck. I mean, it's a fun project after all, you know, and like I feel like it started very in kind of an easy way, if that makes sense, because there was a purpose when it comes to how to make the music, but at the same time there was a lot of freedom on how to deal with what you're doing with the music. So in a sense, it's like, yeah, we want to play metalcore, but at the same time there's no real restrictions on what's going on as far as the song is served. And then you know, at that time you can, I don't want to say you can pretty much do whatever you want, but if you serve the song enough, then it gets into a very fun environment, and like yeah,
I can imagine.
It was like a very, very, very free approach.
Yeah,
and I guess that's the not always, but sometimes the best way to get into the thing.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Because you feel like you have a say, to some extent,
instead of just go right in and fill a role
already
set.
Yeah.
So it might not fit you like 100%.
No, exactly.
You can also evolve into the role. That's cool.
I would also say that like you came into the band extremely overqualified for the music that we had made up until that point. So it's been really fun to just give him the freedom to do whatever he liked to do with the bass.
It was like borderline weird, to be honest, because like I haven't listened to like I know metalcore, I know the metal scene, but I haven't been listening to metalcore in the last, I don't know, over 10 years of my life.
Oh,
not
really?
actively, no. Because back in Italy, I've had the guys know, I've had like, since 15, 16, I was into like the prog scene, like very, very extreme prog. So I've been playing like very technically hard music for the biggest part of my life. And I feel like I was into metalcore, I would say until 16, 17 years old. And then the whole prog projects just took over, and I started exploring music in another direction. And also the listening experience evolves into a completely different sphere. So when they asked me, it's like, yeah, you want to join a metalcore project? I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm too old, I don't fucking know. And then, but then it worked out. But again, it worked out also because there was this kind of a open mindset kind of thing.
Yeah.
As far as it functions, of course, you can't go in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck. No, it's to serve the song to some extent, but there is a wild aspect of freedom in this band.
Yeah, it's kind of a difference between going to metalcore, for example, from progressive rock or metal.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it is.
It's very, very, very weird. It's also like I would say relaxed.
Okay.
In a certain sense, like you come from. I don't know, I remember when I was younger, like 6 months in rehearsal in order to patch one song together, and then suddenly I'm with them and we have one rehearsal, we go out live and everybody's like, dude, this was as tight as it gets, and we're like, yeah, whatever.
You're all naturals, that's why.
No, I feel like it's a different kind of effort, and it relies on different things. I feel like I've had a lot of projects that I had fun with, but they were more based on like being extra careful on what's going on stage, extra careful on what you're playing, extra careful when it comes to like practice the song and everything. When it comes to Anchors, of course, there is an element of technicality, but generically speaking, the live performance is more like being on stage and having fun and project that as hard as you can on the crowd. So everything else, I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but it's always like on a second spot.
Yeah,
as far as it hits.
Yeah, and I think that could be an advantage in a lot of ways, because you get a lot of the vibe from the guys on stage down to the audience. Yeah. And progressive music is usually always, as you said, a lot of focus on the technical part.
Yeah, you kind of need to,
Yeah, you kind of need to. That's good. But in metalcore, for example, you may have a little bit more freedom, perhaps, to express yourself in other ways too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, it depends also where you come from. Like if you have always played like I would say metal and metalcore in your life, and that's where you're based, and maybe you will play stuff that you perceive as extremely hard, even though it's metalcore, and that's fair enough. But if you have crossed that line a long ago, then suddenly you can take the liberties of making something. I don't want to say weirder is not the right word, but like more complex, and at the same time have some kind of security that even if that note is not perfect or whatever, still you have the plus of a stage let out that will always push out for you. Yeah. And I mean, it worked out for us. I feel like, I feel like that's one of the strongest points of this band is like we really have fun on stage, and people just up to now I've perceived that.
Yeah, and I think other people do too. That's usually a part of why I enjoy music too. You get the vibe, as I told you earlier, from stage. So I'm really fan of metalcore, and I don't know why, or maybe I'm wrong, but I think metalcore really exploded the last year, at least here in Norway, Oslo. Or has it always been a lot of metalcore bands? I just never been involved. I never seen them.
To be honest, I don't think I really paid attention to that before joining Anchors myself. I've always been like a metalcore dude, like in the growing up and stuff. But when I started playing with Anchors, we started to look for gigs, and we discovered all of these metalcore bands here in the district. But it's still a very small genre in Norway.
Yeah, I can imagine it is.
Like it's a fairly small community.
It's not the biggest export of
I feel
music.
like the bands that you've mostly heard of is Athena and Fight the Fight.
No, well, that's the thing. Like, also, I would compare it to Italy. I remember like the golden years of metalcore. I remember like the Bologna scene back in the days. I'm talking like, I don't know, 2007, 2008. It was like completely blasted with these metalcore bands, and they were all like after the classics mostly. I don't even say like Switch and Case, but I would say early August Burns Red, early Bring Me the Horizon. This thing was huge back in the days. They had a lot of bands, and the number is so much higher than it will ever be in Norway. I feel like there is some hype coming up right now, but it's not as big as in other countries. In other countries, really like a thing.
Okay, so it might not be that big here compared to that's cool. I just in my own experience, after I started this podcast, attending more shows, getting to know more people, I find so many extremely good local underground metalcore bands here, and it really surprised me. But the quality is really high, I think.
That's
and
good,
a lot of talent out there, and a lot of people doing stuff. Maybe post-COVID too, people have exploded a little bit, got a lot of energy, a lot of material, and been sitting home alone a lot of times, so they're ready to get out there.
Yeah.
So, and you started Anchors in 2019. That's kind of a bad timing, though, I guess. It was
we had a lot of time to write. Before playing anything live.
You didn't jump into anything really. It was you got the time to prepare, even if you didn't want to or not. So
I think the first live show that we ever did was at Blå.
No, it was Park Teatrum.
Well, we did like because Joakim had it was an exam.
Yeah, because I went to Westerdals at the time, now Høgskolen Kristiania. Went like it's called popular music class, and I joined the band at this time. We had like a rehearsal space at school.
It was like 4 months, 3-4 months before we started rehearsing or something like this. It was like right immediately.
Yeah. And I had this instrumentalist exam, and they had put up like a show on Park Teatret. So it was like all the drummers were going to have their exam there, and then I just brought the band. That was our first concert.
Well, that's kind of a funny story.
No, and the fun fact was it was supposed to be an open gig, but then the COVID regulations struck in. So in the end, it was like kind of an open gig, but only for the guys who were actually playing that day.
Yeah.
So it was a little weird. It was like kind of a weird situation, but it was pretty cool.
So I don't know. It was probably like 50 people there, but there were all the guys that were actually playing. So
Yeah, but still, if you got 50 people on your first ever performance live, so that's not bad actually. Not too bad. I heard people playing for the sound guy and his sister.
Yeah.
So
Because the first,
Happens.
the first official gig, that was Blow at
That was
least.
Blow.
And that was still everyone.
25 tickets total.
25.
Of course, we sold out.
yeah, you sold out.
luckily we sold out 25 tickets. That was everyone that was allowed to be there, and that was a seated concert. So so it looked like there was nobody there, but it was.
It was actually sold out.
It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
It must be kind of difficult to go in playing for a bunch of 25 people sitting down. It's like
it was
to be completely fair, though, I feel like there was also one thing, like we were kind of hyped for the thing, and also we just came from the recording session, so we were all very prepared. The set was solid when we took it out of Blow, and it was the first gig and whatever, and it was all close friends came and whatever, and I feel like the 25 people that were there, they remember that night.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I feel like that's all that matters. Cause
it really is.
Yeah, because I'm not saying, like, of course, to play in front of 5 people is never the best, whatever. But that shouldn't be the goal, you know. The goal should be to let the guys go home with something, and I feel like Blow is possibly one of the most achieved gig in that sense. Like, everybody had a ton of fun because they were all coming from like a pandemic. They were 25, but they've been home for months. They were looking for stuff, and we were prepared for the gig. So the whole combination of things, it doesn't matter how small the thing was, it really projected out on that small crowd. And that was, I mean, it's more than enough to have somebody talking about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. You got more energy divided into fewer people. So
and also it boosts the experience so much, because I mean, normally speaking, you would have like, and I'm looking at it from an organizer perspective now. You have, I don't know, like last Friday, you had 25 events in Oslo in one night. That's insanity. Yeah. That's completely insanity. Back then, you had nothing, and you came from nothing. Everybody that was there, they really wanted to have something, and they got the time of their lives. So, I mean, we were very prepared for the gift, but even if we were not, that would have been a blast of a concert in that extent. So, you know, if you put it into context, I think that was actually a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, but that's a nice way to see to look at it too, and not thinking, it's only 25 people, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
but actually,
it was really nice. It was
really nice.
And I remember we had because not too long after that we had our release gig as well, like for the release of the first album.
Oh, we see it.
And we were supposed to have. We had it at Brugata, and we were supposed. I remember we were really hyped because that was going to be the first concert like after COVID, where people could be standing up and you could fill the whole venue. And then I think a week before the gig or something, they changed the rules again back to like seating, and we were super disappointed because it was a release gig and everything. But I remember being so.
No, there was another situation in which people at the time of their life, like even people that had no idea, they were just there.
But I was just really happy with the outcome because even though everyone was seated, it was such an awesome gig because the place was still packed. Yeah. And it was just friends, family. I mean, we knew everyone, and even though everyone was sitting, the place just. It's such an intense vibe, the whole concert.
I feel like the whole post-pandemic somehow paid out for everybody that wanted to go out there, if that makes sense. Of course, you cannot get the crowd you would get normally, but at the same time, you get different kind of feelings from people, and those feelings are very, very intense after, the closing and the frustration of staying home. Some people have been, permitted or whatever for the longest time, and then they're finally gonna have their first money soon, so they can do some stuff. And to have events in that moment, like I'm looking at it from Anchor's perspective, but I saw it as well abroad. I was Brugata. I was already organizing. I remember the first 2-3 concerts. I think the first concert after the pandemic was Waste the Saint, the first standing up concert. Incredible numbers.
Oh,
Like
really?
in numbers
Yeah.
you can't, the numbers you will hardly pull with like an Oslo established band inside
cool.
Brugata,
Okay.
and we made those numbers with a band coming from Trondheim, and this is something that will never happen again. It's just that people were so like eager to have it that it's just blew up, and for us it worked out, I think, pretty well.
Yeah, it looked like that.
Yeah,
Of
It was
course.
great.
I've been. Other people say that it's just recently now that things is really picking up to where it was before the pandemic. But I think that might be the whole package: the bars, the pubs, the restaurants, everything else. I don't know if that's correct, but I've been a lot on concerts out lately, and it really looks packed everywhere, and people are out there now, attending shows, drinking, having fun. Like the regular normal life is back. It's been a few years now, of course.
it's been
but,
a couple of years, but I think that was the ticket issues, if that makes sense.
No, what do you mean?
I mean that everybody that bought tickets in 2019, 2020 for concert that were postponed
Yeah,
already
yeah.
had us like a slot of this is throughout all Europe.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so for the next 2 years, you had like an assessment period in which people already have a certain amount of tickets and they don't want to overspend money. And then, of course, you add whatever other situation are coming up. And this just creates a huge stall
Yeah.
in which everything that happens is what it was supposed to happen. But there's no extra.
No, I know.
But now we are 2 years after, and basically every band that was supposed to tour already toured. So
Starting to
yeah,
get
I think
back
it's
to
picking
normal.
up again from now. Yeah,
It looks like it too.
yeah.
It really does. No, that's really interesting. I was on this Monday. I was on Rockefeller. I got some tickets from my sister for Christmas. Me and my girlfriend for Avatar.
Oh,
well.
nice.
Yeah, and Ether Realm from North Carolina was support for them.
Okay.
Ether Realm, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool. They were good. Avatar, we know, is a great live band, so it was fun to experience that too. Met a lot of cool people, a lot of friends over there. So it was actually met Tord from Fight to Fight too.
Yeah.
Back there, he was attending too. So I actually met Mikael Willy Wilhelmsson and his girlfriend Ella, who's been on this pod. He's an artist too. She's a movie maker, director, stuff like that. So I met Arash Taheri. He's a great a concert photographer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
he's a great
remember
guy as
him.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, really, really cool. I was actually attending a music video with him and Jana
Yeah.
earlier this year. Or was it actually last year? I think it's been released now, soon, actually. So
I remember him from Tons of Rock.
yeah.
Yeah, just randomly met him on the bus, like the packed buses that always goes at the end of the evening. And then I met him just randomly.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Nice guy.
a really, really cool guy, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I noticed it was packed. It was sold out, and the line was actually going around the building all the way past Centrum Scen and almost down to Gunerius. It was crazy. I only experienced that once before in Rockefeller. That was actually 2003, I think. It was a Manowar concert.
Manowar.
Rockefeller?
Nice.
At Rockefeller?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was really cool, really cool. So that was fun. And the John Dee night was awesome. How did that get together with you guys and the other bands?
I feel like
I mean, we got asked. Like it was, I mean, I feel like we are in very good relationship with both Beyond the Barricade and Kingseeker.
yeah.
In and outside the band context, to be completely fair, like they're friends.
How
And
good are those?
last year, actually exact same date, like the 19th of January.
True.
Last year we played Salt, and we had Beyond the Barricades warming up for us there.
Yeah, with I can't
That was
remember the
with
name.
Fretmidden
Fretmidden
from
We-
Bergen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had that the year before, and then it was a little bit. It was kind of fun now.
It was kind of funny.
Play the exact same date for Beyond the Barricades.
It was the exact same
yeah,
date.
Yeah.
Wow,
like 1 year.
That's kind of weird
on the weekend.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. How good are those bands too? Wow.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
It was such a great night.
Great new albums as well for both of them.
Yeah, she really impressed me. I think she blows a lot of people's faces off. She's awesome vocalist.
Yeah, she's all out. 100%,
yeah. I was really excited to see them live, and they did not. I'm happy. It was so cool, and everybody else too. Really cool guys. Really great music. It was a super night. It was so much fun, and a lot of people too. I don't know how many people attended. You got some numbers?
Over 200, I would guess, because the tickets were 180 something. So then if you add guest list stuff and whatever, I would say over 200, something like this. It was a very cool gig, actually.
It was really nice as well that I feel like people came early as well. Which is kind of a thing that
most of them,
you never know. It's like being because this time we were the first band out, and you kind of never know if half of the audience is gonna come early and then the rest are coming for the later bands or whatever. But I feel like this time people just came when the doors opened, and we played for. We got to play for a lot of people. It was really fun.
It was a lot of people that early. I noticed that, and it was the floor was last time I was on John Dee. Before that, it was like a lot of space on the floor. Yeah. So, but this time it was really packed. Really cool show.
It was great fun.
So, you ready for the next one? Is there anything coming up?
Yeah, we have one this March. Yeah, 1st of March at Revolver, and we're warming up for. Are they Swedish?
German.
No, Danish bipolar existence. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Swedish, German, Danish.
Yeah. Bipolar architecture.
Bipolar architecture.
Oh, that's a funny name.
Yeah, it's a name.
Yeah,
but
and it's with Chris Ended.
And Chris Ended, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Chris Ended, yeah.
Oh, cool. That'd be a good night. Revolver.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And you got some music coming up too. Is it some new singles or albums? Because you released the last thing in December or November or something.
Late November.
Late November. We released Pandora.
Yeah.
Where we got to collaborate with Jonas from Fixation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he joined us for that song, and then we're hoping for a release. Well, we did.
I would say like there are like 3 new songs kind of in the making, but I think the 2 of the official track will be ready soon. The 4th official track will be later this year, I would say.
Okay, you're saving up a little bit and then releasing it one by one.
It's more of like a schedule thing, Like we all have to patch over with work schedule and whatever. We all have our lives and whatever, so we need to schedule it up. But I don't feel like this is the project in which we stress stuff too much, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that we don't have a schedule, but it's like there needs to be a certain level of flexibility. If we have the material, we have the material, and whenever it's ready, it's ready, and it goes out. Yeah.
It is a healthy way to look at it too, I think.
I don't think we're gonna wait years ever to make releases, if that makes sense. It's not like Tool. That would be insane. But yeah, there's no real rush either. As far as is decently planned in advance, then we can do it. So I guess a couple songs in spring maybe.
Mm.
And I feel like the next one is probably gonna be released like March, April,
somewhere there.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
So got something good to wait for.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
before spring.
Hopefully. For everyone that's been like at the last couple of shows or coming 1st of March, we are playing the new stuff.
For sure, the next single, yes.
Yeah.
The next single, we are already playing the next single there.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was supposed to be the first single, actually.
Yeah. Break the Silence.
Yeah. It was supposed to be the first single out of the EP, and then we moved to Pandora for reasons. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Things have a tendency to happen in other ways than you plan, but who cares? That's cool. So we'll be getting some new material too in the next live show.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
That'll be fun. What kind of projects did you do in Italy before you moved there? What kind of projects did you do? You said you had some progressive bands.
Yeah, I've been with this band. I wouldn't even call it prog. I would call it like avant-garde. It was called Elo Avadat. It's a Jewish derivative name. We had 2 albums. I think one was in 2010 and the other one in 2013. That was like I would say the project I grinded the most. That was like very weird. It was like a mix of clean and dirty vocals, 1 million sections, songs that go between 6 and 10 minutes each, and violin, like active violin, not like contour, more like active violin playing riffs. It was fun especially when as a young guy, as a young kid, because when I recorded the first album I was actually 16, so I was a kid.
Yeah, that's your kid.
There was a lot of fun. There was a lot of like way too much liberties maybe, but it served the purpose at least. And then that band basically not dismantled, but like died down, because it was very hard to find a drummer that could actually play that stuff in the moment we needed a replacement. And that band became released like an EP under the name of Judas the Dancer, and that was more like a very high gain math rock with pop chorus, something like this. We were very, very tired. And on the side I was playing in Modena, which is now my home city, with this band called Aseptic White Age. We have 2 releases, and that was like the fastest way I can describe it is like a mixture of the whole Explosions in the Sky post-rock thing with Animals as leaders, with saxophone instead of vocals. So it's
interesting.
Yeah, as always, he has been weird for a long time.
So what made you move to Norway?
I wasn't working out down there.
You wasn't working. It wasn't working out.
No, it wasn't working out. It's not. I still believe it's not working out. I'm from northeast Italy, like near 1 hour away from Venice. But I'm from countryside, and things don't work.
Okay.
I've been doing music for most of my life, but at the same time, I got my graduation. I am graduated in Venice University in Chinese and linguistics.
In Chinese linguistics.
Yeah. I lived in China for an entire summer working when I was 20 as well. Like I've done a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, couldn't find a job. Nothing was working out. Prices were going up. Expectancies, and many like, I don't know. I never really liked the vibe, and at some point, it really starting to wear off me. Like I want to go somewhere where, I can just do things in another way. And at the same time, to be completely fair with you, I understood later on that for me it was not about working, like playing in bands, but it was more like working with music, working with that kind of environment. And in Italy, it's a very sealed industry. Like you don't get to meet people. It's very hard to meet people, especially at decent levels. And I know many people from the day that they managed to do stuff, but like move to Norway, I can tell you like straightforward that what I have been doing in Norway when it comes to bands and when it comes to like events and whatever, the level I achieved in 4 years in a place like Italy would take you at least 10 to 12 and much more money. Just because of how the system works.
Yeah, okay.
So,
you kind of have to be in there to
you need
get
to
access.
have dedication. You need to have a job that is basically, I don't know, most of your salary is devolved in order to take up the other activity up to the point that you can make it, which is something you do in Norway as well. But here it solves itself in a matter of like 2-3 years, and then you can get something out of it. In Italy, you have to double time or 3 times the time. That's everything is very, very slow and
really fascinating.
Yeah.
You have any idea why it's like that?
Mm-hmm.
Any idea why it's like that? Is it just a culture thing, or is it like the music industry?
It's probably a culture thing. It's probably like it is music industry as well, for sure. Like there are many aspects of life in Italy from an insider perspective that are very different from, you go on holiday there. It works in a completely different way. But let's just say the whole system doesn't work. And of course, one other thing that doesn't work, and this is like a generic problem, it's nothing that revolves around me. They're old. It's an old country, and they don't go to pension.
Oh,
you get what I mean? So and this is not for music. This is for each and every single environment throughout the whole system. And when you do stuff like that, there's so many people, because you got to compare it. It's like, I would say, half the size of Norway. You have 60 million people compared to Norway, where you have 5. So you have so many people, and 50%, 40% of the population is over 60, but they get to pension at 70. So you have a massive gap that doesn't get fitted anywhere. And also at the same time, 60-year-old, they don't want to concert. So then the industry smallens up, and at the same time, other problems pop up. It's
okay. So it's like
and also you have to deal with old people.
Yeah,
no, it is true. They have. I don't want to say it in a bad way, but it can be the people that have been raised and lived their prime during the 80s or the 90s cannot patch over with tech revolution. So they don't care. They don't understand how you dress. They don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand, and they still have opinions because they're still in charge of their companies. They're still in charge of everything and whatever. And you have to deal with it on a day-to-day basics. And honestly, I was just not interested.
No, of course.
I turned 25, 26, so I am not interested in this. Is not a system that I'm not going to fight for this, because there's nothing to fight for.
No, at least if you have other possibilities.
Yeah, you could make a call.
And we were very happy to have you.
Cheers.
What was the process like picking Norway? Was it like just throwing a dart on a map or something?
No, I moved with my girlfriend, and we started living together the moment I moved in Norway. Like, we never lived together before. We could never afford it in Italy. The moment we moved to Norway and the moment we started having our salaries, that's when we started living together. We've been together. In August is going to be 11 years. Oh. So this is super funny, actually.
Yeah, that's cool. She's Italian too?
She's Italian.
Yeah.
But no, the process was, I already, as I said previously, I already lived in China. I've been around for some summer schools as well in my life, back when I was in like high school. And my thought process was that I wanted to get out European Union. To be fair with you, I didn't want to have to do with, like, especially like it was right around the Brexit moment or whatever. Everything was like kind of hectic. Yeah. So I was like, I want to get out of this. I don't want anything to do with this, because it will eventually affect, anything that's happening in the high part of this will affect the last part sooner or later. Yeah. And we have seen this for 10 years right now. So like, I don't want anything to do with this. So the first plan was to move to Canada, actually.
Oh, to Canada, yeah.
But unfortunately, I have a graduation degree that my girlfriend doesn't have. So the waiting time for immigration for me would have been much shorter than for her. And we were moving out to move together. Oh, so we just exclude the thing. Like that. It could not work out the way we wanted to. Then we went to Lausanne in Switzerland. Yeah. Very cool place, actually. And Giger Museum, if you haven't checked that out, please check that out.
I only know they have a football team.
No, they have the Giger Museum. Is the guy that draws aliens.
Oh, really?
And his museum is owned by the guy that has Celtic Frost. He inherited the museum. Museum's super crazy, like really, really crazy stuff. Lausanne is an awesome place. But
is it a big city?
It's a pretty big city. Yeah. Okay. It's a pretty big city on a lake. It's a very cool location. Not exactly what I would expect. There were some stuff that kind of bummed me out. My girlfriend she loved the place, but she was totally bummed out by some stuff. And then we went to Oslo visiting in November 2018. We stayed for like 3-4 days. And we kind of liked it. Like, it really, I don't know, I feel like Norwegians in general are not that hard to get used to, at least from the part of Italy we are from. We never had massive struggles with that and everything. And it looked like it in the beginning, and it totally worked out. Yeah. In the long run, so.
Looks like it did.
Yeah.
And if you like Oslo in November, let's face it.
No, man, it was magic. It was magical. I remember, like, we were here visiting, and we had no idea what this was. Like I knew of Oslo, I knew of Norway, but this was never something I would expect in my life, to be honest. As in, studied Chinese, I've done other things, and we came down, and I remember we were walking in, I think it was Akkerbrygge. We were on the castle, November. I don't know, man, like lunchtime or something. It was, the sun was up anyway. Like, it was very sunny. Everything was completely iced. I think it was like -5, -7 or something. So everything is iced. The sun is very up. And then they had this like Christmas bells playing from like the community building or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of a moment right there. Like, you look at it as like, this place looks like a fairy tale. And to me, it still does. Like, there are some moments in Oslo in which I'm kind of... I remember when we had the -28 and you had like the fucking smoke coming out of the water and whatever. I don't know, man. There's something about it. It really is a precious place. Yeah. And you get used to it and you don't get it. But then if you really read in between the moments, it's a crazy place to live.
I think if you've seen it from a little bit of distance, you're not used to it. It could be something special, I guess. Especially if it's cold outside and it's winter here. You got the humidity in the air just crystallizes and everything is like
something about the lights, and there's something about the way the stuff looks like.
It's like crisp, and it's like it's something.
And that's the thing. Like, I come from like they know this very well. I come from one of the top 3 most misty places in Europe. We have mist like 6 months a year. Like mist that you can't see. I'm talking like, I have driven in my life with 1.5 meter visibility on a highway. Like that's very normal for where I come from. Yeah. It's a very, very humid place where I come from. And what I realized, the first thing I realized when I moved to Norway is that I could see colors. Because when it's that misty, everything turns to a shade of gray. And then I moved to Norway in March. And when the sun goes up and everything, I'm looking at the houses like, Jesus fucking Christ, man! I've never seen colors in my entire life. It's crazy.
but it's always really fun when we're going when we're playing concerts, because we usually drive wherever we play. So when we drove to Bergen,
got my man driver right here.
Yeah, Joakim always drives. We say we're gonna switch. And I help him out.
He doesn't trust me. He doesn't trust me though, because I'm an Italian driver. So he's like,
that's fucking. I mean, that's fucking scary though. But no, but it's really fun because when we went to Ålesund, when we went to Bergen, and these places,
Bergen was crazy.
Like, because he's never seen it before. Any of it, so it's really nice just stopping at places
because it's completely different from what you're used to. And I'm not saying that Italy is not a bad place, but like we went to I don't know the name of the park, but the one that stands on the mountains in between Oslo and Bergen. There's like this national park. It was completely iced when we went to Bergen. That was
it was Hardangervidda.
Yes.
Yeah, Hardangervidda.
That's crazy because for me, like that kind of like landscape experience is more like leaning towards like the Alps, but the Alps, they're mountains. Yeah, like it's not mountains the Norwegian way. I'm talking mountains. You're looking like a piece of rock is like 3,000 meters, and it's crazy to look at. But you have this, it's very imponent and it's very like this. That looked more like whiteness forever. Like everything is iced and you can see all the way to the horizon. It's the same color. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. It really is crazy. It's a complete different experience.
It's something new, I guess. The Arctic climate and geology, stuff like that. And you got, of course, all the west coast with all the fjords and mountains there. But you got the high mountains there too, as you say. It's
a shout out to Ålesund. They did very good with the location. I gotta give to them.
Yeah, they got a good spot there.
The city is gorgeous.
Yeah, I actually never been to Ålesund or Bergen. It's crazy.
I feel like you kind of missed out on the we need more time the next time. I'm from Ålesund.
Yeah, I know. I live in the life.
Yeah, so we need to like hit. But we went to Fjellstua, right? Like,
yeah.
Viewing point. Yeah, okay. I feel okay. So you've done 50%.
No, but then like location, everything is it really is awesome. No, not saying anything because like as well as Bergen, like. Bergen was fun because we got the first weekend of sun of the year when we
Yeah,
played
that's
there.
true.
Oh
That's
wow!
Yeah,
We got there on the best weather
yeah.
the whole year.
The only time I've been to Maryland
feel like
in my
we-
life, I was just cruising,
Then
and they
you're
were like,
lucky.
"What the fuck,
You're
man?"
really lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super fun. That's so great. I'm from northern Norway myself, up in Finnmark, so you got a little bit of different landscape there, but it's still beautiful. I like it there.
Because I started out in, no, well, not Finnmark, but Indre Troms.
Ah, that's not far away from Finnmark.
Yeah, so I've had like 13 years Indre Troms, 13 years Ålesund.
So you lived there until you were 13,
Yeah.
and then you moved to Ålesund.
My mom still lives there,
Ah.
and my sister works in Hammerfest.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, so
I went to school in Hammerfest my first year on, what do you call it? High school. First year as I was studying to be an electrician.
yeah, okay, yeah. So
Grundkurs.
yeah, I don't know what it translates to, like high school, college.
I have no idea how grades work. Cause
Yeah.
like the whole system I've been through is completely
Because then
different.
then you're 16, right?
Yeah, I was 15. I'm born
15,
late,
16, yeah.
December
That'll be
child.
high school for me.
High school, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so we got the 9 or 10 years later now in the. Everybody does the same thing for the
Yeah.
first 10 school years now. It was 9 when I went to school,
Yeah.
and then we move when you're like 15, 16 to study the things you're going to be. So,
Yeah.
but it's not like a high school college thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
Hammerfest is fascinating. Nothing grows above, what is it, like half a meter?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Nothing. It's
Sounds about right.
nothing grows.
No wind, huh?
No wind. You know what? When we land the plane in Hammerfest airport, it looks like one of those Harrier fighters because it just goes down like this.
Yeah.
There's so much wind. You actually
I'm,
can just.
I'm actually really terrified because in May I'm going up there for my sister's 30th birthday, and I hate flying.
You hate flying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and the only way to get to Hammerfest from Tromsø is with Widerøe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a propeller
yeah,
plane.
That's gonna shake so much. And
You'll
I'm gonna
live.
be so drunk.
It's gonna be
the whole
alright.
way.
You'll live. It's 2024. They can fly that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's just I hate
alright.
flying.
They're really good pilots up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, they have to be, I think, because
Yeah.
it's it's challenging sometimes.
Yeah.
You gotta get the trainee.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the
gonna-
moment you jump in, it's like, hey, check it out.
So we got a trainee with us here today. Oh hell no!
Sorry
I
for the
always-
bumpy ride. It's my second fly. I'm like, shit, man.
I always drink when I'm flying, and then it usually it turns out okay.
Yeah. How do you like this winter so far then?
I love winter in Norway, actually.
Yeah.
I really do. The only thing I will say, like, I mean, this year there has been some moments like it is cold, yeah, but as I was saying before, it pays back in other ways. Like, you know, you gotta take it as it is. The only thing I will say is like in the last 2 weeks, actually, the jumps kind of weird me out a little bit.
You mean between?
When it got up all the way and then it got down again, there has been like a week and a half in which was like,
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's the price to pay when you live in a place like that. I don't think, like, of course you have to complain about it,
Of course.
but you shouldn't take it the hard way. Is like it is what it is and whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the winters. Like I'm more bothered by too much sun in the summer. To be honest. It makes me lose track of time, and there's always like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks in which I'm very annoyed that I need to check the hour actually.
You should visit my hometown.
Then it
like-
gets like 3 months for like
Yeah,
sun.
there's some memories from my teen days. I was like sitting on an old wall that the Germans built in the 40s with the view over the ocean, and we're drinking beer from one of those big old beer bottles in plastic. They were
Yes.
cheap. Or some moonshine. Everybody got no moonshine, and like drinking for hours, and suddenly you've been drinking for days because the sun never sets. you know? It's like
that would be the first time in my life I actually go buy a watch.
yeah.
I have never gotten one, but that would be the first time in my life. Okay, now I know why they sell wherever. I want to.
Yeah, there's a use for that over there. Up there is, and of course you got the complete opposite in the winter. So some people struggle with it, even people who live there. can struggle with that thing, but
I mean, it's not for everybody.
I don't think so.
I'll be honest with you. Like I remember the first couple of years, 3 years I moved here. I know a lot of Italians that were moving back around the years I was settling in. And the first year I was like, yeah, I don't get it, because you look at it from like a moving in perspective, and then after 2-3 years that you live here, I still love it, but it's not for everybody. And I do understand that, especially like people that are from where I'm from. I know many of the people that suffer enough with the weather we have. And for instance, their problem is no humidity, which would be my problem, to be completely fair. Their problems are the lack of lights, because when it's that misty, like my hometown, for instance, has in plain winter probably 1.5 hours of sun more than Oslo, just because of the mist and the fact that everything is filtered, so it's never really bright. And they're already struggling there, so I figure, you move here, in 6 months you're out, because you like maybe you gotta take it because maybe you can live a different, like a more comfortable lifestyle for a little while, but you're not gonna last.
No,
I feel like it's not for everybody.
No, it's a psychology thing too.
Yeah,
you have to test it maybe and try to work with it.
That's the only way.
Yeah, and I think it's important to just get out there, use the winter or the dark for something good. Be active, meet people, ski or hike or whatever you want to do. I think most Norwegians are pretty good at that, like connecting to each other even though it's dark and cold.
Yeah,
I think we have to. It's
I
like
feel like my mom is meant to live up there. She's always like every year when it turned like when the what do you call it? Mørketid.
The dark times.
The dark times. When they hit, she's always excited because it's like, oh, now I can light candles inside and just.
I'm just saying, I've seen movies. Your mom is totally
like,
vampire.
Put up the fire, like fire up the fireplace, and she loves it. She loves it.
It's charming. I agree
charming.
a little bit. It's so nice to get inside in front of the fireplace.
Yeah.
Just the heat when you've been old. You're red in the cheeks and you're like cold on your fingers, and you stand there and you warm up. You get the house warm and stuff like that. It's kind of charming, and
it is a charm.
But ask me that when I just shoveled my driveway for the 4th time that day.
You're gonna be the next thing I shovel.
yeah. So it's pretty. But that's my. I call it my winter workout and meditation.
Yeah.
So I could buy a snowblower, but I actually never bought it, and I also sold my lawn tractor, so that I can do it manually. So
I feel like I have.
Sure.
I have to get to work out. I have to get out there. So now at least I have to do it. If I'm getting to work in the morning, I have to get out there the night before and probably the same morning. Everything.
I feel like I have flashbacks from a couple of times of doing like the shoveling the driveway for snow, and then on the way in, you just slam the door of the house a little hard, and then everything from the ceiling just pours off. And I said, okay, get back out there.
You got the snowplow.
Everything is...
That's you being the worst. Like, just be careful. What the fuck?
I mean... it's a vibe.
That's how I'm jamming.
Yeah.
But I've actually been to Italy too. My girlfriend has relatives in Italy.
Crazy.
In Rome. So,
all right.
So actually from America, or they heard this, what do you call it? Not descendants, but they moved to America,
and then they moved back,
and some of them moved to Rome, actually, like in modern town now, and her 3rd or 4th cousin or something actually worked as a guide in the Vatican. So
that's pretty. Have you ever been?
Yeah, we went down there, visited her and the Vatican. We got a private tour, and
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I mean. Not necessarily a religious guy, but I gotta say, it catches the eye when you're in.
Yeah, me too. I'm not all that religious.
The moment you're in, you're kind of like, I get why this worked.
Yeah, of course.
It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. It is. It's pretty crazy. And we were actually there when the Pope was speaking too, so it was like...
Is it like an Angelus, like an official speech?
I don't know. We didn't even check it out. We was going up there to meet her, and suddenly there was... so many people in the what do you call the St. Peter's Square or something, or not square, there was so many people there. Of course, he's having a few words, people show up.
Yeah, you're looking at 50 to 80,000. Yeah, when you're in a few words. Yeah,
so
it's pretty crazy.
actually just stand there for a little while, and we backed off, and we went a little bit further away, sat down on a restaurant, had a coffee, waiting for them, and then we met her up by the Vatican, so we have to like fight our way through the crowd, and she was just like opening one of those bands for us, and what do you call it?
That's pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, so we got to wait there. We got some guided tours, the 16th Chapel and St. Peter's Church and everything. It's really cool, really cool.
It's like, I feel like it's one of the things, like, there are things that you want to see at least once in a lifetime, kind of stuff. And there's one of the things, it doesn't really matter how you feel about whatever is behind it. But, I mean, go check out what the fuck these people have built up.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like what they delivered when it comes to like architectural structure, art. All that comes with it. It's just like out of this fucking universe. And... there's nothing like it,
No, it's nothing like it.
Not in that massive sense, like not in that extension.
They stole so much art from all around the world.
Yeah. No, of course.
And just gathered it in one place.
Yeah, of course. But
it was cool. It was cool. Oh, absolutely worth to check out. You get like things in perspective when you like stand there and see all this and all the history. You can feel it. I went down to the catacombs under the Vatican or under the church, perhaps.
Yeah.
And there's so much you have never heard about. Like we were walking there, looking at all those sarcophaguses, stuff like. There was like a Swedish queen from the 1500s or something.
Yeah, whatever can be related close enough to be deposited there is probably there. And,
she was in exile.
That's why they call it the treasure of Vatican. So they're like pirates.
Yeah. So, but she was it was like a sign. She was in exile in Rome in 1600s and died there or something like that. I don't know. I didn't get the full story. But we visited, of course, the Colosseum and everything like that. You have to see it when you're there.
Yeah.
But the best thing about our trip to Rome was actually we hooked up with all the guides in the evening from the Vatican. Those are the craziest people I ever met. So it was like what do you call it? It was like a theme party.
Okay.
So we have like black leather and stuff around our necks. What do you call that thing in English?
Like a tie?
No, when you tie up and you wear black leather and you just like not a sex thing, but like a
BDSM.
Yeah, BDSM theme stuff. So all those guides you saw in the day, like showing all this Jesus stuff. And then we met up outside the church, the Vatican. It was like 25, 30 people maybe.
They're probably getting fired right now, by the way.
Probably.
From the time you hear this is going to spend like 30 seconds.
Yeah. The weird thing was we didn't know about this when we went to Rome, and me and my girlfriend actually could dress for that party with just the stuff we brought with us. So that's kind of weird. But anyways, we did that, and then they rented an old church just outside of Rome. That's no longer in use. So
because that's the only way in Italy when you want to have like private party and everything. It cannot be actively in use. It needs to be. I don't remember the word in English right now, but it needs to be. It's not sacred anymore. It's been taken out. Yeah.
And I think this was like a place where they people rent and have parties and stuff. They had painted the entire thing pink inside. It was a really old stone church and all those small rooms and steps and everything, but. It was just so fucking cool over there. So it was like really cool place, really cool people. Actually, the rugby team from Rome joined. So there was like 25 guys suddenly there with.
You won't believe this, but I actually played rugby for like 8 years, and my hometown team is the last year Italian champions.
Oh, really?
Yes, and a bunch of friends of mine, like friends from like when we were young, they are actually now playing in Rome with the Fiammero team, and So I know, like for some reason, I know exactly the vibe, and I can kind of picture the logic of everything.
Yeah, it was so cool. A lot of cool people. I have a photograph of me standing outside with a whiskey and a big cigar and all those black clothes in front of the church. It was so cool.
Nice.
No, fascinating, really fascinating, and. I would love to visit Rome again sometime. I think there's a lot more things to see there. You can never see everything in a week.
It's a huge place.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge place, yeah.
It's like crazy. You're sitting on the streets having lunch, and the building you're sitting next to is like 2,000 years old. It's like, what the fuck?
That's why they call it the Eternal City, because they don't take down anything. It's just like...
Yeah.
It seems like they have like a collector issue, if that makes sense. No, but jokes apart, like, yeah. It's pretty, but like I feel like there's many places in Italy that have that. Rome, of course, peaks out for obvious reasons, but it depends on the era you're looking for and whatever. But there's a bunch of places that are actually like that. And again, I come from a completely different area. I come from near Venice. I studied in Venice. Yeah. I was in Venice every day. That is another place that like, it's like, what do you go to see in Venice? Just go see Venice, man.
Yeah, I think
it's been up for 600 years. You have never seen anything like it, because you have never seen an entire city built on water for 600 years still standing. That is the truth. Like the moment you're there and you catch the vibe, you're like, what's going on here? This is so like,
it's so special.
Out
it's
there.
So new.
Yeah. Wow. And it would be the same with Florence, for instance, if you're looking like Renaissance era and whatever, they were like ruling that shit. Yeah. And and they still hold up, you know. Like,
yeah. There's so much culture over there. And,
it's pretty crazy.
History. It's so crazy. So, you guys ever been there?
Yeah, I was in
recently, actually.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. 2 years.
Couple of years ago.
1.5 years ago, I was in Rome, and I was in the Vatican as well. I feel like now I need to do it again, though, to experience it like you did. I kind of also want to be in a pink church with the rugby team and whiskey and a cigar. But
I don't know, man.
So you take the guided tour again, and at the end of the tour, you just ask them, so when's the fetish party?
Yeah, okay.
So, like, you're expecting it.
I'm going to send you to the cardinal right away.
I feel like I need that. But no, it was... But it is crazy, yeah.
Especially for us, like, we're over here, our ancestors didn't build much in stone, and you know, you got those wooden churches, state churches, stuff. Well, those are really beautiful too. The state churches, but wood don't last that long.
No.
So to get to see all those stuff.
I mean, not. Yeah, I'm thinking like my hometown churches, to give like fair example. Like again, I live in a small place, whatever. But of course, like I'm not necessarily religious, but I am baptized, like almost every Italian, especially from my generation, whatever. And the church that is assigned to my family, there's like two structures. One is like a big church, and the other one is the original. It's right next to it. It's a small church. I think that's a church from the 1200.
Yeah,
and it's still there. Like if you go in, it's like literally, as I said, it's still there. Yeah, like no problem whatsoever.
That's crazy.
And
so crazy.
And for us, it's just normal.
Yeah, it's just there.
I actually remember like first time I went back home after the pandemic. That was crazy. Went back home after the pandemic. I haven't been home for a long time when that happened. Like I think we stayed in Norway for like a year or something like that. Went back home. The first thing I noticed is like, how many churches do you have here? Because I was like, I was driving on my way home, and I'm like from the airport, and I'm looking at the at the landscape, and it's all small towns, but it's crosses everywhere. I'm like, how many churches are there here? That's crazy. If you live there, you don't really notice.
No, you get used to it.
It's the same with Norwegians, with the whole minus 28 and the bright lights, the smoke on the water and stuff. I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, but this happened. I've seen this like 25 times. For an Italian, it's the same. But if you don't look at it from a long time, then when you get back, you're like, oh shit, like it's a lot of stuff happening or being happening, whatever.
Yeah, but I noticed it too. It's like a church on every corner there in Rome or in the area around and everything. And
they almost have more churches than tobacco store, which is borderline a pity, but it is what it is.
Well, there's a lot of history there with the church, Catholic Church, and Christianity in general. So I guess it's natural for Italy to do that. But you visited the state churches and stuff like that here in Norway?
Not inside. We went and see the church in Trondheim. I don't remember.
Nidarosdomen.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It was also the first time I saw it firsthand.
That was pretty fucking impressive.
It's crazy.
I think that's built in the 11, 1200s.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's 11, 12,
finished
around
in the
there.
1400, I think, something
Yeah.
like I remember because like we then asked people and whatever because I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted to see the church because I knew what that was, but again, I can't even pronounce the name, so you catch the vibe.
Yeah, but it's inspired from Notre Dame, I think, that
Yeah,
church, isn't it?
Like it's full on Gothic and after Gothic, and
Yeah.
it's a very very cool church actually.
Yeah.
I don't think they sell it enough, honestly.
Really?
If the Well, yeah, but I have my takes on some of the Norwegian thing, like, and they know, like, I have absolutely no secret passion for Vigelandsparken. Vigelandsparken is insane.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty cool.
you guys don't sell that shit enough.
Maybe not.
It's like insane, like literally something that you walk in and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a lifetime of a man experience into stone.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Have you been there in summer?
I've been there all the time. I go there when I want to fuck around, man. I really love the place.
There are constantly like tourist buses at Vigelandsparken.
Not enough, man. You shouldn't be able to walk, I'm telling you. Like I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been actually to the museum as well, where they have like the stone shapes for the statues. There's a museum right next to it.
Okay, I haven't been there.
There you go. You
Yeah.
don't sell it enough, man. I've seen it all. It's crazy. I'm telling you, like completely crazy.
You know more about it than we do.
No, it really is crazy. That and also the brother Vigeland Mausoleum, the one you have in Slemdal area. That is also like, of course, it's a small piece and whatever, but the experience of that, such a unique thing, is so like visually, and of course, then I don't know if you have ever been there, but you have like an 18 seconds reverb, so you basically cannot speak inside because the moment you get inside, every single noise is amplified to whatever, and I don't know. I feel like, and then the eyes get used to the darkness, and you start seeing the paintings, and it's completely covered by Vigeland's brother paintings and his own mausoleum. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is crazy, and it's stuff that like most people don't even know about. I feel like you should let people know. This is really like,
Isn't that...
there's like a pearl right there.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty common. You don't appreciate that stuff that's closer to you. That's
Yeah,
close to you.
I feel like no one has ever sold me more on Vigelandsparken than Nick
And
now has sold me.
Vigelandsparken is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stress this enough. It really is. And when I think about this guy, man, he worked his whole life to make this stuff happening. I don't even care how. Like, can you imagine, like, starting when you're, like, 30 and finishing stuff when you're dying, and it's, like, one project. That's all you're going to do. And it's, like, all your energy, all your focus, all of your everything into this thing. And then it comes out like that.
Yeah, it's pretty well done. And
It's crazy.
and where do you get the inspiration for that, I wonder? Where do you
Well,
get the ideas? It's like a man throwing around children, and it's like Vigelandsparken, stuff like that. It's
you know, when you live like 60, 70 years, I feel like a lot of stuff can happen.
the monolith.
Been around.
Where did that come from? Like, yeah, I guess he's an artist by nature. He sees things. He get inspired to do stuff like that.
Yeah. No, 100%. But either way, you know, it's like, I don't know.
So where do you guys get the inspiration when you write music and do stuff like that? Is it art, or is it other bands, other artists, or just your own feeling?
Well,
I have my take on this, but I'm gonna let you go.
Joakim.
No, when Andrew is the guy that usually has the ideas. He's
the idea guy.
Yeah, he usually records something. He has like a drum groove over it, records something, and then he usually have a placeholder name with all the bands that he was inspired from on that song.
That's
like-
true.
And then,
Yeah,
and then
that's
he
true.
also does this kind of he does these little experiments sometimes where like I don't know if we've used it. I think maybe it's like one of our latest what do you call it?
Like demos or
Demos, yeah. One of our latest ones was like inspired from his phone number, where he just he just used tabs, and then he used his phone numbers to make a riff out of it, and then I think he put that into some synthesizer MIDI kind of thing, and then he just learned the riff afterwards.
Yeah.
And then, but he has some original ideas for.
He has its ways, for sure.
That's pretty creative.
Yeah.
And it usually works out really
but
well.
it's also how it is, you know. You gotta get inspired by whatever. Like, have you seen the movie Frank?
I'm not sure.
You should watch the movie Frank. So it's this crazy composer, whatever. But there's like this one scene, is like a snip of the movie that is really like, it is describing the creative process like one-on-one, and it is playing with a straw, you know, like this straw that you can bend to like drink, and he's doing like the...
Yeah, I know that.
And he's looking at the straw, and for like, I don't know, 20 seconds, and then he goes like, I find this inspiring. And then he wrote a song. But that is the thing. Like, it's describing the creating process. Like in like one scene of the movie, you have everything you need to know. Like you don't really, you shouldn't really expect much more than that. It's just a trigger. You know? Like
yeah. I guess you have to be aware of the inspirations around you too.
It's more like, I don't feel like it's more like getting inspired. It's more paying attention over stuff that will trigger something.
Yeah,
if that
maybe.
makes sense. Like in my experience, for instance, the more I listen to music, the less I write music.
Oh, really?
That's what. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I have like moments in which I listen to a lot of music, I write stuff. I don't even write stuff, or I write stuff that I would just throw in the garbage immediately. Like I listen to it, I'm like no. and then I would have moments. He knows very well. I would have moments in which I'm watching movies for like 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks I write 3 songs.
Okay.
Because for some reason everything is stored in the back of my head, but the trigger comes from something else.
Yeah. Because you know what the trigger is? Could it be anything?
I feel like it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, more a vibe. I think that's. I feel like this is for Andrew as well. It just works very well with music as well for him, because sometimes he would listen to something and he's like, okay, he's totally catched in that. But I feel like the true inspiration is and should be in general more in the vibe of what you want to do rather than how it really sounds.
Yeah, you may have a point there.
You know, if music is a language, we all talk differently.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't expect to communicate your personal vibes in words or music or wherever you have through like a direct inspiration. You should acknowledge the vibe and then figure out a way to rewrite that vibe over what you are.
Yeah. I guess it's important to be aware of your surroundings and trying to catch that vibe and maybe translate that.
Because we all catch it differently. It goes back to the Vigelandsparken of before. You know, many people I know, they're like, I've been there. I don't care. I've been there. I was blown away. But it's a reflection of what you are. And it's like the way I catch the vibe and the way I give the vibe back to the world, and what that experience is for me is different from each and every one. And then that affects music, affects language, affects everything.
Yeah, it's crazy, that vibe feeling. I got that down in the catacombs under the Vatican.
Yeah.
I'm not
It is
Christian.
very real there, by the way.
Yeah, because I'm not Christian. I kind of gotten more spiritual in my later years, but I'm not Christian. I'm baptized and everything like that. I worked in churches when I was young, and I actually rang the bell manually every holiday
That's
for
pretty
hours.
cool, actually.
I did all that stuff. I dug graves. I've done everything. And but it was always like a nice place for me to be. I enjoyed the atmosphere, but I never really got the religion or the beliefs. But when I was down in the catacombs too, I was like, it's more like for the art and for the experience, and I really got like a weird, crazy vibe down there. Like almost got overwhelmed.
Yeah, you're like, now I know why they, like 1,000 years ago. Imagine you're there 1,000 years ago. Of course you're gonna believe.
Yeah, of course you're gonna believe. Yeah. Exactly.
Shocking.
Exactly.
On any extent. Yeah.
And my body was kind of shocked almost too, and or probably my mind too. But it was kind of a weird vibe. I could probably write a song about that.
I should.
I'm not sure. I have no musical talent whatsoever, so that's why I talk to people who do. It's much better. So you guys. I didn't hear anything from your background. You guys had some earlier projects before you started this project. Played in other bands.
Yeah, well, I For me, I started in on guitar when I was 9, I think.
Oh.
My mom ruled me into like guitar school.
Oh, you got the full package there.
Yeah. So and then I remember she was the guy that like he was my stepdad for a number of years. He was a blues musician.
Oh, that's cool.
So he actually got me my first guitar, which is still like the guitar that I definitely love the most. So I've been playing guitar the whole way, and then started with vocals around like when I started. I don't know what we said it was, like high school, like when I was 13, 14.
You got mid school for me right there.
Huh?
You got mid school for me right there.
Yeah, okay, mid school. Yeah. Started
hurry up.
vocals then, because that's when I moved to Ålesund, and that's when like the music scene opened up, because before that I lived in a super small village in north of Norway.
Yeah.
Not a lot of musicians, and it was just the guitar school and everything. And then Ålesund opened everything up. We started bands and stuff, and then I played in bands from 13 to 26 before I moved to Oslo. And then I studied music there, and then we started Anchors.
And then you started Anchors, yeah.
So,
but it's true, if you're from a little place in northern Norway, it's like kind of hard to find a band.
Yeah, I mean, we had like this cover band that was put together in the guitar school and everything, that we did through school. But it was still, I mean, we had the only venue you could play was the gymnasium in school. So we had some concerts there and stuff, but never anymore.
Yeah, my experience is that there's a lot of extremely good musicians from those small places all around the fjords and mountains. They are sitting inside alone, playing the guitar and working on the music for years.
They practice a lot,
yeah. There's not a lot to do. So if you get passionate about it, then you do it all the time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And then you get out there and start joining other musicians stuff, and you see the talent and everything. There's so many good people around.
Yeah.
There is. It's fascinating. But finding a band up there is not that easy. A story I told before, in my little home place, it's like so small we only call it home, practically.
Yeah.
And there was one band. And that band had been there forever. It was like my uncle, and I was related to half of them, and like a generation older than me.
Yep.
And they played like what we call typically Swedish hits, danseband, that kind of vibe. If you're familiar with that.
I'm from a place that is the correspondent of this, but in Italian.
Yeah, okay, so you could probably relate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that was fun, okay, but it was usually the same thing. But the drummer there, he was more like a metalhead Kiss fan with long hair, so he murdered the drums on those songs. It was like so fascinating. But it was you got. He wanted to play, everybody wanted to play, so you meet up with other musicians who can play, and you got maybe your own style and genre and stuff, and you mix it up, and here we go. It's fascinating too. But
I feel like a game changer for me was that the guy that was my stepdad, he built like the earliest I can remember of a home studio in my mom's washing room. That was like the old box computers. And this was in 98, 99, I think. But with like the possibility of recording, and then we had like organ and some guitars. We had a bass and everything, and then we could just manually record stuff. So we always made Christmas songs for my mom and stuff. And
wow, that's
recorded
nice.
And we sang some, made like original stuff. And I feel like that was a big contributor to just wanting to make music.
That's one-on-one what my cousin is doing with his daughter.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking right now. Like for the last 3-4 years, But then you see like there are similarities in everything. My cousin, of course, he lives in Italy, lives the same old town in me. He has a daughter now. She's, I can't remember, probably 13, 14 or something. But since he was a kid, he's been playing folk, like Italian folk all his life, forever. And now he has a studio. Before he didn't have a studio, he had like a man cave with a bunch of stuff he accumulated throughout the years. Like all the instruments he would buy. He's far older than I am. I think he's over 50 now. And he's doing exactly the same thing. For the last Christmas, every single Christmas, he's writing like easy or not easy at times Christmas song, and he has his daughter pitching in with vocals and everything, and then he would give CDs to the family or to the friends and whatever. So it's like literally what you just described.
But it's so valuable because I mean, for me, it was just that's what it started with, like making original music. And I remember just from that point, I've never been the kind of guitarist that is like if someone were to tell me, okay, play this from that or that band or whatever, I've never been someone that knows a lot of common songs to play.
But that's where usually people start, actually, playing Clapton or
I've just always been the guy that is like, okay, I know my way around the instrument, I know everything, but I just want to create everything. So it's so always been that, and I feel like that started with making Christmas songs.
That's cool.
At the age of 10, 11.
So we might expect a metalcore Christmas album coming out sometime. Then there's a lot of business in touring.
Pass of this one.
You see those who make Christmas songs and stuff like that, and they tour during the Christmas and stuff. I think that makes their whole year.
Yeah.
Didn't August Burn Red do that?
Yeah, they're Christian. That's why.
Yeah,
we're gonna
made a whole.
You got your answer right there.
We're gonna challenge Mariah Carey. Like make something that is just eternal income. Like
you could go for a Wham kind of style too. Of course, it's. I think it would fit you guys perfect.
They're going pretty far, pretty fast.
Oh no! What about you? How did you start up?
For me, it was really my bigger brother. He was or is. Huge Metallica fan. Showed me Metallica when I was pretty young. He bought me Guitar Hero when I was when that first came out. I played that so much, and then eventually I started doing the guitar lessons. At the I come from a very small place, like 3,000 citizens.
Yeah, big place compared to me. So.
Big place.
Started doing that, and I was basically one of 4 or 5 guys that really wanted to play music in the small town. We started a band, played a lot of music, and then Rock Band came along, and Guitar Hero also got the drums on their games, and that's where I started playing drums, basically.
Well, that's cool to get inspiration from that too.
Yeah, I played so much of the. I think I broke maybe 2 or 3 of the drum sets.
Wasted years.
But I know I was pretty old when the Guitar Hero stuff and that got out. But I was a rock star too. Damn it, it was so fun. Yeah.
So I started. I think 2016 was the first time I actually played like a real drum set.
All right.
And then I never looked back.
You never looked back. Anchors was your first project or band?
Yeah, actually first like a real project outside of school, because when I started school here in Oslo, I went to Folkehøyskole from 2016. That's when I started the drums for real. We had like the school projects and stuff, but not really like a real band in that sense. So yeah, Anchors was the first.
That's cool. Not bad for your first one.
No, I'd say.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
So now you're all just living down in Oslo, enjoying life, playing music.
Yeah.
So none of you are local. What about Andrew?
No, he's from Stavanger as well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you have to go to the big city, Tigerstaden.
But I mean, to be fair, like, and also they know very well. So I'm saying this too open because sometimes I get a little repetitive. But I have a mission since I moved here, and it's to find the Oslians.
The Oslians.
The Oslians. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're nowhere.
You can't find them.
You can't find them either.
No, maybe they're in
Nobody can
Vigelandsparken.
find them. Like I'm telling you, I've been living in Oslo for like 5 years in March.
Yeah.
5 years. I know, born and raised in Oslo, I think I'm around 12, 13 people. And when I tell my friends that are not from Oslo, they can't count over one hand most of the times.
Yeah.
They don't know anybody from Oslo.
Yeah, but is that the environment you're in?
It might as well be, but I'm just saying, like in a generic rule, they're hard to be found. They really are.
That's also kind of typical that people who are not local connect in the city. I moved around when I was a student and stuff. But it was then too. It was typical. You hung out with other guys who moved there, and I think also in the rural places of Norway, you got more metalheads, rock, metal, everything like that. It's kind of more common genre, I think, because when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I was in Oslo. I also got the vibe that the locals may not... They had different kind of style of music or what they liked and listened to. So it might be like we're sitting a lot alone listening to...
No,
metal.
that might be as well, yeah. I don't know enough about Norwegian, I would say contemporary pop culture to give you an answer. But one thing that I can tell you for sure is that, like, I mean, I work in bars and I see a lot of people, like a lot of people for the last years and whatever. And my girlfriend as well, she's going to be a restaurant manager, whatever, for a restaurant. We have all worked around and they're nowhere. They really are.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe you.
I was like, where are you from? It's like the best answer you're going to get is Lillestrøm.
Yeah, it's the closest one.
Or Bottom.
Yeah, Bærum. Okay, even
Like, in
Bærum.
proportion, I know more people from Bottom
Yeah.
than actual people from Oslo.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's kind of weird too, because Bærum's
Same.
got that reputation too, to be maybe not metalheads.
Yeah, like, every time they tell me you're from Bottom, I have this thing that I was like, yeah, spoiled brat. I will tell nobody that you're from Bottom, but you're spoiled brat, and that's how I'm going to call you from now on. That's it.
I guess they're fine with that.
Nobody ever complained.
No, I can imagine. So
They
that
know.
kind of proves the otherwise.
yeah,
but
they
you
know.
gotta have your fun.
Usually self-aware.
Yeah.
Selena is actually born and raised in Oslo.
I know.
You know.
I kept her in the count. She's on the list.
you got a list.
I do. No, I do. I actually do.
No, but when you mention it, she is probably the only one I know as well.
Yeah, she's a rare breed.
And her friend.
Singular.
No,
that would be
that I know. Like, no, she has a lot of friends though, but that I know like personally. Yeah.
It's the longest break in the whole podcast.
Yeah, it was.
Very intense moment right there. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to what do you call it? Round it up, runde av. Okay. Tell people again. Your next gig is on Revolver. When?
First of March.
Yes.
1st of March with
1st of March.
Crescended and Bipolar Architecture.
Yeah.
Yes.
People should get there, buy tickets. Can you get the tickets online?
Yeah, you can get the ticket on the event. I think they're using Tikio or
The event is up on Facebook.
yeah,
I believe.
the event is up
Yeah.
on Facebook or yeah.
And so are you guys. You're on Facebook and Instagram, I guess.
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok as well right now.
TikTok. Oh.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, joining TikTok too.
Yeah,
Go with the flow.
It's time.
Yeah, I installed TikTok on my phone like a few years ago, and it lasted 3 hours, and I said I do not have time for this, so I deleted.
I actually have no idea what's going on with TikTok, but I'm gonna say this here right now. So just for the records, it's like you're never gonna see me on TikTok because I can't dance,
Yeah,
and that's as far as I can go.
yeah.
But it's so time consuming as well. I still don't have it myself.
Why do you know?
But huh?
Why would you know?
No, it's my Maria, my girlfriend. She has it on her phone, and we
Great.
kind of tend to both be looking at her phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like
sometimes.
m-
Just
it's like-
watching
mesmerized
TikToks.
by
It's
this
just,
nothingness.
I mean, I get trapped in Instagram Reels for a long
Yeah,
time,
it's
and if I'm
dangerous.
gonna have TikTok as well, that's just
Yeah, but it's exactly the same thing.
yeah.
It is.
Doesn't
It's
make it any
just-
better.
Things are just not gonna be very
Yeah.
productive.
So I try to spend more time on YouTube, and then you got the shorts.
Yeah.
So god damn
Yeah,
it.
yeah, God damn.
Yeah, they catch you no matter what.
Facebook is also getting there, so
Yeah, but I actually feel like the YouTube shorts is like more relatable to me. It's more stuff that I actually care about
Yeah.
on there than it is on the Insta reel and stuff like that. I don't know if it's true, but maybe it's because of the subscriptions I have on YouTube. perhaps.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I think
That
Probably
helps
a
on
good,
YouTube, yeah.
good
Yeah.
algorithm for.
Yeah, because on
Maybe you're
Instagram and stuff, it's more a widespread of.
Yeah.
It's bigger. It's on
And now
YouTube.
we got the threads thing as well.
I still haven't
I
understood how
have-
that works.
No, that's
Is
not.
isn't it kind of Twitter?
I think it's text.
X.
X.
Oh, X.
Yeah.
Oh
Sorry.
shit, man, I'm sorry.
God damn.
Oh, as far as I know, it's like Instagram's version of X.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like the text-based.
Is now
thing,
X
I
making
think.
an
There's-
X version of Instagram? Question mark.
We don't need that. We don't. We do
No,
not need
We'll
that.
live to tell.
Really don't know. Are you guys on YouTube? You got some music videos
Yeah,
and
we
stuff
got
like that?
we got some music video. Actually, Pandora had a music video out in late November, made by our friend Ollie, which is
Oh.
to be fair, shout out to Ollie.
Yeah, shout out to Ollie.
Shout out to
He's,
Ollie because he's a fucking.
he's
fucking
doing at least the next
beast.
music video as well. 'Cause
Oh,
he's
cool.
been for the Break the Silence song that we're releasing next. He's been on.
Yeah.
I think he's been on
no,
10 gigs
Yes.
or something.
Mm.
He's a very good friend. He's a beast of a worker, and he's a beast of a video maker, and very, very creative individual. And
Yeah.
That's the people you have to mingle with.
that's
Definitely.
like honestly, from my perspective, that's the people in my life I wish I had before.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
really, really on like huge shout out to Ollie.
Yeah.
Because it's been for the last 10 ones, because we're doing like a kind of like a live show music video thing, like a little bit of behind the scenes of what we do when we play live and stuff. And he's been there for at least the last 10 shows filming for this next song.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's
I know,
He's
and
just,
he has consistent material nonetheless. Like he's consistently giving us materials. Like, yeah, but you have enough material for the video? Yeah, I don't care. And it was the same for Pandora. It was just that's the kind of guy that would just show up and like, yeah, we fix this like this.
extremely
this, and
good
that.
photographer. as well.
Extremely
Yeah.
good photographer. It was just like, yeah, we do this, whatever, and you're like, zero expectancies, and then it just delivers super fast and super accurate, and just like
wow. So
whatever, man. Yeah,
cool. Big shout out to him.
yeah, big shout
Yeah.
out.
Big
Yeah.
one.
And what's your Instagram name? We have to plug it a little bit.
Anchors official.
Anchors official.
At,
It's
Anchors official, yeah.
It has,
Anchors the official.
huh?
Anchors the official, isn't it?
Isn't it? Is it?
Yeah,
I'm
check
pretty
that
sure
out,
it's-
man.
Yeah, but I guess if
Check
you
us out.
search for anchors, you probably
If
will.
you search for it, it's it at least has like a big A as
Which is not our school marks on average.
no.
For the record.
that is oh fuck, this is on airplane mode. Yeah, but it's Anchors official. Anchors the official. Okay.
Oh, there we
crazy.
go.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
My
And I
man
have to-
right here.
I have to give a big shout out to Beyond the Barricades,
Yes.
who invited me to their show, and to King Secret and 2 Minutes Hate for making it possible to meet you guys and see you guys.
And that's
No,
just a
they're-
great
they're-
bunch of bands.
Yeah, yeah.
The
And
whole-
also
the whole
people,
gang.
to be honest, again, like these are all people that, at least on my part, I know personally, even outside the band. They're great people, they're good bands. Like,
Good music.
shout
It's
out to the guys, yeah.
It's just people that always look so intimidating on stage, and then off stage they're just the kindest
Yeah, yeah.
you
That's
could ever
100%
imagine.
true,
It's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
a lovely bunch.
And it's my favorite thing when I go to see someone and there's someone else playing I never heard about or never heard, and it just hits. That's one of the favorite thing. You go from there with like the feeling, wow, I discovered a new band now. So let's dip in this, see what they got.
I wish you 100 of these days, my man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
I would
Thank
love
you
to
for
have
having
you.
us.
Yeah, I would love to have you again sometime. Maybe we can see what happens. You get some new releases, stuff like that. There's a lot of things to talk about. Your Chinese experience would I would love to talk about that too.
We get him to translate T-shirts and sweaters and stuff.
Yeah, I might have to take the dictionary back after so many years, but yeah.
But it's so fascinating, just it's so different culture and so far away, and I find that kind of stuff interesting too.
The true rabbit hole, my man.
Yeah, the true rabbit hole. So we'll save that for later. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a safe trip home. And
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.